Okay, real quick. PDDuino, rigged up with a fake DTR signal, DTR from the fake DTR signal coming from the 100, going into a pin, a GPIO pin on the Arduino, which would be essentially like DSR. This would be the Arduino reading DTR from the 100, but it's a faked out pin, so it's got a resistor to pull it low normally, and then when I press the button, it shorts to 3.3 volts and brings it high. So when I press the button, it fakes out like as if the 100 was if I had a max 3232, with the DTR signal going through the max 3232 to turn the 100's DTR line from the serial port going through the max 3232 to convert down to 0 to 3 volts. And so it's just a fake of that. So when I turn this on, it's going to get power from the BCR port, and since there is no SD card installed right now, it will just start blinking the LED slowly, which is showing that it's in a loop checking for the SD card. Doesn't find the SD card, waits a few seconds, or half a second, and then tries again, and it just keeps doing that over and over again until it finds an SD card. And then when it does, it initializes the SD card, and then it goes into the TPDD emulation mode. Or if right after it initializes the card, it also checks this GPIO pin, and if it's high at that time, then it sends the loader, loader.do down the serial line instead of going into TPDD emulation mode, into normal TPDD service mode. So that's the bootstrapper. Loader.do would be an ASCII format basic file, and same ones that are used in DL Plus and MCOM, and then before that in DL, desklink.exe. So here we go. I'll turn this on. Alright, and I have previously reset the machine so RAM is wiped, because I can't do it while I'm holding the phone. So it's waiting for the SD card, and this is just a way for me to hold off that check for that DTR pin check, because it doesn't do it right at power on. I have it doing it just after the SD card is initialized. No sense. There's no sense doing it. There's no sense checking for that pin before you have a working SD card, because if you found the pin was high and it decided to send the loader, if there's no SD card, then there's no loader.do file, so it wouldn't work anyway. So I have it doing it just after the SD card initializes, and that also lets me hold it off, delay that check until I want to, by just not having an SD card inserted. So now the machine is powered up, and it's past the initial power on stage, but it still hasn't decided whether or not to do the loader yet, because it's still waiting for an SD card. So I can go in here and start the M100. It's pretty much just like the TPDD2 bootstrap procedure, and DL Plus and desklink and MCOM. Right. So I'll hit enter, and now the M100 is has opened the COM port, and it's trying to read, and that would be setting the DTR pin high. And normally that's how this signal would get set high. not by me pressing a button. But now I'm going to hold the button down and insert the SD card, and it'll immediately start sending the loader. Now it's sending the loader. When the light's on steady, that's what's going on. And the loader is teeny.100, and so that's what you get, the 12 seconds, just like loading Teeny normally. Boom. Okay. And it's still a little bit buggy because now, although that worked, there's something wrong with the normal TPDD emulation routine in my latest version of this, because what happens then after it does the loader, it resets I have it basically rebooting the Arduino, just resetting it, so that it then goes into normal TP. I have it doing that so that after it sends the loader, it flushes and closes the serial port, which triggers the M100 it finalizes the transfer, and the M100 starts actually running the code. It was running actually before that, but the last line would still be waiting for the last line to finish. So then to get the serial port working again and have the Arduino back in, go from the loader routine back to normal operation, I just have it resetting at the end of the loader routine. So it resets the thing and starts as if it was power on. And since the COM port is not open at that point and I'm not pressing the button, it just goes into normal TPDD emulation mode. But it's not working right. So right now, it should, if everything was working perfectly, I should be able to use Teeny immediately. And one file that I know is there is that same file, loader.do. But it's not working. It just hangs when I try to do that. No light on there. Just a hang. However, it's something to do with Teeny. Something's wrong with the TPDD emulation isn't good enough. Somehow it's not good enough for Teeny. But it is good enough for TS-DOS, because if I load up TS-DOS from ROM, I have a ROM installed on here. I just had it cleared off. A hard reset. So if I load the TS-DOS ROM, it works. It's hard to see it right here. If you can, I'll press the F4 again. You'll see the disk activity light. Right, it's actually working. So TPD, the Arduino has flipped over from sending the loader routine into acting as a TPDD, it restarted, and the emulation, the main loop, is satisfying TS-DOS, but somehow didn't work for Teeny. So I have to look into that. I haven't tried DSK Manager lately either. So it's very close. And then the Monty board, the adapter board that lets this plug directly onto the serial port and takes the place of this level shifter, takes the place of the cable, and that has the DTR pins wired in through the level shifter, and yeah, that should work pretty good. I forgot what I was going to say about that board. It looks good, should be right. Won't know until I get it. So I got some work to do on the PDDuino, like the main loop. Something's not quite perfect enough to satisfy Teeny. So close. Oh, here, I'll double check. I'll show that it works without pressing the button. All right, it's powered off right now. So without pressing the button, that quick little flash of the green light showed that when it booted up, it looked for the SD card, found an SD card, and that's the 3 flashes indicating that we got the SD card and it's initialized. And then it looked at the GPIO pin. I was not pressing the button, and so it decided not to do the loader this time, and it just went into normal TPDD emulation mode. And in fact, it's actually asleep right now because I have sleep mode calls in there. So it gets up, gets ready, and then goes to sleep, and activity on the RX pin wakes it up. So let's load a file. Oh, F1. Yeah, read the file just fine. There it is, loader.do. Okay. Alright. That's it for now.